Hi everyone, Lorco here and welcome to my channel. So the topic for today is how to play and how to counter board wipe deck. And we all know that the current meta, especially for the last weekend event and probably the upcoming weekend event, that board wipe deck will be the major deck that we're gonna see, especially in Meeting Rank. And so without further ado, guys, let's discuss it. So as you can see, guys, that on the top 23 on the weekend rank, I managed to get in top 13, and I use also board wipe deck. And I noticed like everyone's is like playing this one, so it's better like for everyone to know how to play it and also how to counter it. Because if you know how to play it, technically you also know how to counter this deck. And I will also recommend some cards that might help your god to counter this one. And as you can see, this deck managed to get 25 wins out of 25 means a perfect score. And this is like my first time to see a perfect score. And as you can see, ANP is the one first player who managed to play this deck, and every other mythic player followed. That's include me. So as you can see, if we go to his composition of deck, it's technically uh like I believe like 70 or 80% of the cards here are all are non-core. So technically they are like composition of Genesis, Divine Order expansion set, even the trial. So technically if there will be a major changes in the core cards, board wipe that will not be affected. And for that, like guys, we have to proceed now like on. So how to play, guys? So this is like the topic we're gonna do on how to play Mulligan, tech cards, combo, and the 7 CC counter attack and the end game of board wipe deck. So the first thing, as you can notice, is for the Mulligan. So technically, when I do Mulligan, so I have experience playing board wipe deck since last week. So before the meta, and I usually in Mulligan playing this one, anything that is 4 drops up to 9 drops, that's include everything. I drop that, guys. I always look for the thing that top cards that I always look for are Fanatic of Kun, V-Rock, Burrowing Scarab, and also Siren, guys. So if I manage to get the Fleshbind and the healing cards and just Nibble, I drop those cards, guys. I always go for this top mulligan. Siren, Sulfuric, also it's good also as long as you get the Siren, guys. Fanatic, V-Rock, and the Scarab. And I sometimes go look for Eva if my opponent is I feel like it's an aggressive deck like War and Nature. So that will be the mulligan, guys. Drop everything that is forecasting cost above. Drop your heal cards. Just get for creatures, guys. Creatures, uh, if I got two Blight Bomb, I drop one of the Blight Bomb and get at least a creature, guys. Because creatures and Blight Bomb are good for controlling the game early on. Because you are more on a control deck rather than an aggro deck. So that will be the mulligan, guys. Sometimes if I get like two half-life, I drop this half-life, guys. Because what is the purpose of half-life if you don't have any creature? So that's why I always mulligan for the low-cost creature, guys. And especially Siren of the Grave. Because as you can see, this is your sleep cards. Okay. So the next topic part that I mentioned before is the tech card. So technically the good thing about board wipe deck is he has like a combination of majority of tech card, except for only tech card that I don't you don't see on this deck is the relic removal, those that destroy durability of a weapon. So that's the only tech card that he doesn't have. But as you can see, uh, he has like a sleep, guys, and he has a ramp, guys. So these two is one of the major reason why board wipe deck is also becoming successful. Okay, ramping. You have two cards that can go ramp and two cards that go sleep. So this is are like the two key tech cards here in board wipe deck. Why Fanatic of Kun? Ramping is very important because the word board wipe deck is just came up with the word apocalypse and end time. So this is will be your like big creature remover, like literally get your tempo back. So as you as a control player, you have a certain point in the game where you will gonna take over and gain control of the board, and that is playing Apocalypse now. Even though you have wards, and even though your opponent has ward or afterlife, that will all be obliterated. And this is like the key a keyword here why the deck is called board wipe deck. And the main reason why it's successful first is because of Fanatic of Kun. Second, sleep. Because as you can notice here, the only card remover that you're in the early game are the Blight Bomb, with health 3 less, and also the Neferus Kopesh, Neferus champion, guys, and it deals 3 damage to creatures. So on the early on, before turn 7, this is the only way you're relying to kill creature and only 3 cards. The only key for you to survive that long is to use the sleep, guys. And this is like one of the tech cards is very important. The Siren of the Grave. And the main reason why I want you to, during Mulligan, this must have, okay? Because you only have 2 copies. Okay? And then the rest of the tech cards are, guys, are draw. As you can see, the draw cards here are the Burrowing Scarab. It will also let the opponent draw, and also the VROC, guys. Both players will able to manage draw, and this is what you have to do. Cast these guys to and exchange it with trade that with your opponent's creature and draw a card until you manage to get the Siren, and also Siren to sleep the card. Now, if I only have 2 sleep, how can I manage to control the game until turn 4, 5, 6, until 7? Another tech cards that are like good are here, like good combination is the Half-Life and the Canopy Hoarder. So as you can see, this is are like your combo deck, right? Cards here. Canopy used to do the Afterlight ability of Siren, and also your draw card, right? So you sleep and you manage to draw card, or sleep, you do the ramp. If you're like ahead of the game and you're not worried about creature, you can like go for double ramp or double draw or draw ramp at the same time using Canopy Order. And you can use Half Life, for example, to summon back Fanatic of Kun and attack that with opponent, kill creature, and then you manage to get a another unlock mana, or you manage to use that Half Life to VRAC to destroy opponent's creature and also draw a card. So that's what like are the combo here. So aside from the pack cards are good, main reason why Boardwalk is very successful also, guys, is the heal. He has the ability to heal compared with Sleep Deception. Sleep Deception, the only way for him to heal are using Demogorgon. And as you can see, Demogorgon is also a key card here. And the main reason why this deck is very expensive because of the Demogorgon. This is one your healing capabilities. Aside from your God power that able to heal for your 1 life, there's also like the Just Nibble can heal up to 7. So if you use 2 of these, you manage to gain 15 health at 14 health. And then Fleshbind for you to anything that you sacrifice. For example, if I use this one to Fanatic Kun, I gain 2 life plus a draw. So these are like they have like more chance of heal power. And that's the main reason why this can withstand sometimes aggressive deck. Another thing that we need to look up for another tech card is Reap. This is the only single target destroy they have. And the good thing about this one, it's also give you heal. So technically, if there's an 8-8 or 7/7 creature on the board, and that's the only one I'm worried about, I can use that one. Now the tech card are I mentioned like the your board wipe is Apocalypse and End Time. This is for once it reach later game for you literally to reset and take the momentum. So these are like the tech and the combo. So our combo will be Siren of Grave. So the combo of Siren of Grave will be Flashbind. So if I cast, so always remember every time you play Siren of the Grave, you must have an extra card that you are ready feel for you to obliterate. Usually the card that I always do for obliterate is Blight Bomb. One of the if I have one of the Blight Bomb, I use that one, obliterate it. One of the draw cards of like Burrowing Scarab. Oh, I don't need Burrowing Scarab because I have another one in the grave on the void, and also Virak. So those are, or sometimes I sacrifice Half Life also for Siren of the Grave. So that those are the cards. And sometimes like my if my opponent is an aggressive deck, sometimes I sacrifice either one of the big creature like either Hippocrates or Polyhemia because to the Siren guys. So, and FYI, once you play Siren, you're gonna make sure you have to destroy it on your turn to make sure your opponent will not able to attack you on his turn, guys. Okay? So the first thing combo like I use sometimes if I play Siren, I use Blight Bomb to kill him. That's combo number one. Siren using Fleshbind, I managed to draw a card and gain 2 life. Or I use the most my ultimate favorite combo is Siren of the Grave, then Sulfuric Rain. I managed to gain uh one draw and I managed to give burn to all of my opponent creature. And if Sulfuric Rains destroy those creature, he will have like a overflow of cards in his hand. This is like my favorite combo against Zoo Zombie deck. Like there are lots of zombie there. Uh, a lots of feature on nature with all those animal bands like the badger and even other aggro deck. I will just this is like my favorite combo in this board wipe deck, especially on early and mid game. Literally, your opponent will overdraw and a high chance like he might like drop if he has more than 9 cards on his next turn, he might also lost 1 card because of overdrawn. Okay, so this is like my favorite. So that's the combo of the siren of the and if not, I always use one heal nibble. I will use nibble for the siren and then use the god power. So that's like another combo for me to activate sirens sleep. Okay, guys. Then once it's done, you will able to manage now to use a combo for Canopic Hoarder. I usually use this one on fifth turn to stall the game again. Use Siren. Either I do ramp. I do ramp if I want to able to do a big demo Gorgon quickly or Apocalypse now or even end times like oh I don't have Apocalypse now and demo Gorgon then I need to ramp up quickly for 8cc. So the Canopy Corder, I will use Sleep, then Fanatic Cocoon. But if I have less card, I have like only 2 cards left in my hand, then that's for me the time to sleep them, delay, and use Burrowing Scarab. I highly recommend Burrowing. Now, if what if I have like a 7 in hands? I gonna go for sleep, either go for V-Rock. So once I do the V-Rock, I will manage to gain 1 draw only. So technically speaking, my hands become 8. Always reminder guys when playing board wipe that always check your hand. Your hand must be not more than 8. Okay? If your cards are 9, technically the next turn you're gonna draw a card, you will get burned. Also, if you play like creature like Scarab and your hand is 8, you will overdrawn and you might obliterate your key card. So better before you cast this V-Rock and Borrowing Scarab or use this ability on your Canopic Hoarder or even in Half-Life to draw more cards, make sure you have less card. Always count your hand. So this is like the best combo for Canopic. And also one best combo, guys, is Half-Life. Half-Life for early on, like you want to, like I mentioned, to control the kill creature, either are you Virak, uh, are you Fanatic of Kun, or even Eva. So Eva is one of good for aggro because he can summon 1/1 zombie, turn anything that 3 casting costs into zombie. So this is like guys are like uh, uh, the combo guys. And so now we're gonna go. So I mentioned now the Mulligan tech cards combo. Now we're gonna go now to the 7 TC or 7 casting cost counter attack. So technically, your main goal at the very end is to ramp, to draw a card, and once you reach 7, this is the time your opportunity to do a counter attack. And then how do you gonna do a counter attack? First thing is to gain back the momentum is by playing Apocalypse Now. And if you don't have like Apocalypse Now, it's time for you to do a Demo Gorgon. This good counter attack is to uh, gain also your health back, gain life, and believe me or not, having two Demogorgon two consecutive is very devastating, guys. And that's very devastating, guys. So that's the main reason why it's better like to uh prepare for the seventh turn. This is your main goal why you are ramping, why you are like trying to sleep, and why you are drawing cards is to prepare for the 7 casting cost. Either do Apocalypse Now or Demogorgon. Now, this is a question. What if I have Apocalypse and Demogorgon at on my hand and it's already turn 7? Now, I will play I highly chance do a play now, especially if my opponent has lots of big creature. Second, if my opponent has lots of with protect. And third is he has like front line. Because technically, every time I cast Demogorgon, I'm gonna make sure that I able to attack next turn and activate another sleep using Canopic Hoarder or Half Life or Siren to gain more life. I want to attack on his opponent because dealing for damage to the god itself is for heal life. Now, if he has like those a big minion with frontline protect with armor, I'm gonna reset it to Apocalypse Now because high chance next turn he will able to play 1 or 2 cards. So once he play 1 card or 2 cards, then it's time for me to do a demo Gorgon only. Now also, if you notice your opponent has literally has big creature on the board, and possibly he can attack you, I will go for Apocalypse and like attack you and kill you on that turn. I gonna go for Apocalypse. Why? Because there are like tech cards that can remove sleep. And that's sometimes like one of my major big mistakes, especially main reason why I got only 22 wins because I have like on my one of my game playing against nature, he managed to fill his board with big creatures. So what I did, I became greedy. I make him sleep rather than playing the Apocalypse. And then I realized he has like a tech card that can remove sleeps and punish me. So that's why I gonna make sure I gonna do a damage count first. If like if I do sleep and he managed to remove the sleep, can I still survive? If yes, then go for sleep. But if not, just go directly to Apocalypse. But me, every time I reach 7 and there are like lots of creature, I'm gonna go for Apocalypse Now. And now we're gonna discuss now it's the end game. So how will board wipe death will gonna win? First, board wipe death win will by because of using the Polyhemia and Hippocrates. We all know this big creature once played, you have no chance of killing it and it might already win. For example, Polyhemia, it's hard to kill because of its 4 armor with protect and ward. So technically, your opponent will just quit when they saw this one. Even Hippocrates, guys, at the end game, he can be a 30-30 or 20-20, right? The only downside is he has no front line. But the good thing is on this deck, he has a combo with the Neferus Kopesh, the forecasting cost equipment. That because this is a 0-1, guys, because this is like a 0-1. If you see here, it's 0-1, and Kopesh is summon the lowest strength. So he will summon this one, and then it will activate his ability to count the number of strength. So he become like a 20-20. So this one is like an unlimited Hippocrates. Especially this is good versus other control deck in the opponent. Okay. And another thing, the last thing that the winning game for the board wipe deck is milling. What I mean mill is means like both of us we might run out of cards in the deck. And then FYI, if we have no cards in the deck, any unspent mana will turn into damage. And because we already have like no more cards in the deck, and I have like two cards, two turns that I can like play 9 casting costs, then means like no damage for me. And you, because you did a lot of like drawing and sulfuric rain, high chance like your opponent has lesser card than you, lesser card than you. So those are like the three mechanics on how board wipe deck begin. So technically, we know now how to play board wipe deck. Now, how we gonna win against or counter this one using a different kind of deck. So first of all, if you are a war deck, guys, uh, war deck has a high chance winning against board wipe deck because we all know that the counter attack like the Apocalypse and heal like the Demogorgon starts at 7 casting costs means War has an ability able to kill your opponent before turn 7 and that's been already tested using the aggro, using weapon and even the God Slayer God Power. Imagine God Slayer God Power, it's a 2 to cast deals 2 damage. It's like every turn you can like do 2 damage and stuff, right? Right? So War, you can be an aggressive using weapon guys because as you can see the only uh, tech card that board wipe that does not have is removing of equipment or removing durability. And because of like combination of weapon and God Slayer, it can like inflict 5 damage in one turn. And if you manage to able to aggro cast a lot of creature at the early board, you manage to like to kill lower your opponent half. So that's like the key cards here, guys. So in war also there's also like a tech card. So uh Valkas Discovery. So FYI, if you are like an aggro, always check your Sanctum for Valkas Discovery on your Sanctum, guys. Either you put this on your war deck or get this one on Sanctum. Because at the this is what I noticed when playing board wipe deck. Board wipe deck at the very beginning they have low chance of getting favor. So high chance you will able to get this Valkas Discovery at at the early board and use the one later just like to counter his minion. And also if when you're playing war, always reserve your blitz creature to kill Demogorgon. You gonna make sure you kill Demogorgon as fast as possible using your blitz, especially like your blitz like the 3-1 blitz creature. Kill him as soon as possible, the Demogorgon, because you don't want that creature to attack or cast another sleep to do another sleep damage, guys. Okay, so that's like uh, the good combo against war. No, war against a board wipe deck. So aggro weapon, being aggressive at early board, weapon, and slayer. Now, what if I'm a war control? Just always do a Slayer damage, guys. Use your God Power Slayer. One of the big mistake of War Control that me as a board wipe deck, instead of using God Slayer as a God Power, they're using Valka's Presence, those Summon 1/1. Because those are just creatures that I can ignore, that I can counter with my God Power also, the ritual one, that destroy 1 health and gain 1 life. Slayer is like a very powerful god power. Imagine in if I do 2 damage, use the god power in 15 turns, I managed to give you 30 damage. So imagine that one. So me as a war control, first turn god power, second turn god power, third turn god power play creature, fourth turn god power play creature. So your opponent life is reducing every turn by 2 damage and using your weapon and other small creature to do damage more. And that's like the winning condition. If we end up with the end game, guys, you can use Carnage Sweep with weapon to eliminate the like the polyhemia and hypocrias uh, of the opponent. Okay. So next thing that we're gonna discuss is deception. So I believe deception is the number one deck to counter board wipe deck. Why? Because deception has capability to copy. If I manage to copy my opponent Polyhemia, if I manage to copy my opponent's Apocalypse, if I manage to steal the Polyhemia and the Apocalypse, that will be great. And one of the tech card that is so good against them are good against is now is just like the new it's the Cobra Scepter. As you can see, this deals one damage to gods, right? Every time this one damage to their god. Whenever your opponent draw a card, deals one damage. This is an equipment, and like I mentioned, uh, Board Wife has no equipment destroyer. Okay, and we all know Board Wipe that rely heavily on drawing cards, guys. So that's this is like a good tech card also. So imagine also you can like use not like this one like anti magic like the anti magic expert, guys. Imagine if my opponent play Hippocrates become 2020, I just gonna control because FYI in ward uh it control cannot be warded, okay? It cannot be canceled by ward. So means I can like control the Hippocrates and win the game. So technically, if you're a deception, if you have those counter guys, you already in a win. So another one card that highly me okay. If I show you, so for example, here this is my copy of my sleep deception, guys. Uh, I played sleep deception and I have like 100% win rate against board wipe death. Why? Because I have this ransom card. So ransom, if my opponent play Polyhemia, I will just ransom it back and it become now 11 casting cost. So he cannot play it anymore. Sometimes I combo that one with the elixir of the panther. So because this is a 5 casting cost, ransom is 4 casting cost. So it means in turn 9, I can copy Hippocrates or Polyhemia and then ransom it. So I have a copy of those opponent deck. Even use a cutthroat insight to steal his end game creature. And like I said, the only way for board wipe deck to win is the end game is via Mulligan and those big two creatures. If I manage to steal it and destroy it, means he has no chance for winning, guys. And so, for example, the Hippocrates, steal it, guys, steal it because if you steal it, guys, he will never able to resurrect that using Neferus Kopesh. So plain as simple as that. So that's the main reason why sleep deception is high chance winning against board wipe death. In my experience, I never lost to a board wipe death using a sleep deception. So so now let's go now to Magic. So for Magic, it's very simple like to play against be aggressive enough and also use a lot of ward creature because this is the thing. If your creature are warded, your opponent board wipe deck cannot cast spell because every time you cast no cast sleep spell, every time he use sleep, it will be uh it will be denied by the ward. And like I said, at the early stage of the early stage of the game on the board wipe deck, they just gonna draw, ramp, and sleep. That's the only thing he gonna do. Now, if you manage to counter the sleep, automatically you can do more damage. So that's the main reason in a tempo aggro magic, it's very effective because majority of those aggressive like the carpet, they literally have ward where they can like literally uh remove by not make the sleep very effective against burn. Second, use spell damage. One of the big mistake that I noticed from Magic player that if I cast Demogorgon, they use the spell damage literally on Demogorgon. I highly recommend use spell damage, a damage spell that has a word for creature, like deal 6 damage to creature. Use it only for creature, but if it says 6 damage, it means you can use that one on creature and the god. I rather use that spell damage only to god rather than use it on a creature. So those one of them. So of course, spell boost. The more you spell boost and literally hit more damage, then you have chance of play winning using a magic. For nature, guys, like I said, you have to do a aggro at the early before it turns 7, and then play big beast. Sometimes if for example it's already turned 7, right? I cast an 8/8, all right, and this or 6/6. Me as a board wipe, I will force the game to use my apocalypse just like to kill one big creature, right? So and of course the ironclad minotaur. So the ironclad minotaur, guys, is so the ironclad minotaur is very powerful. It can be used as tech card because it removes sleeps, right? And if you manage to have lots of big creature and opponent mistake is do a sleep, then you have the opportunity to deals more damage, right? And this is like one of the best tech card currently now that is neutral. It's 6 casting cost and it's a creature also. So this is like a good partner with nature. Usually nature play this card, guys. So another tech card that's similar to a nature but a cheaper one is the Svart Basilic. But this one only remove one a sleep on a friendly creature, only one, not compare with Ironclad can remove sleep for a lot of creatures. So guys, and now so we discussed about nature, aggro, Ironclad. And also when playing nature, save your lightning and the hunt for Demogorgon. Like I said, Demogorgon, you must kill it as soon as possible because that's one of their source of heal. If you manage to kill it with spell, that will be great. Means you will not he will not able to heal more life, guys. So use your lightning strike, the hunt to kill Demogorgon as quick as possible. And then the last thing is like death. So if you're like a death player, guys, uh the famous deck now for death aside from board wipe deck is also the zombie. So if you're like a zombie, always go for the corpse explosion, guys, and be aggressive as early as possible because the good thing about the corpse explosion, guys, is it deals 3 damage. So if I have like a 6 nether creature in my board and I use corpse explosion, and I'm frenzy, I managed to give him like 18 damage. 18 damage in one turn. That will be a lethal and that will be a great offensively. But FYI, one of my mistake of my opponent when playing Corpse Explosion against me, he did not able to activate Frenzy. So I highly recommend use God Power Soul Burn. Soul Burn is one casting cost. This one damage to both God. That will activate Frenzy, guys. And that's like I highly recommend. And also, if you're gonna play uh, uh as uh as that, guys, uh it will be like being aggressive, guys. Deals more damage as fast as possible before he managed to reach turn 7, where we always expect either board wipe, apocalypse, or demogorgon. So yeah, so this is like the corpse explosion, guys. Now, I think I missed one thing in the video. It's the number 3, the light aggro. So the light is high chance of like one of the top deck that able to win against board wipe deck because of aside from they are like aggressive, like they're like aggro deck also. They also have a Radiant Dawn, guys. So Radiant Dawn, guys, if you check the Radiant Dawn's capability, guys, is it's a three casting cost spell where it can pump your creature and lose sleep. And this is like very effective at early round. If I manage to sleep me on turn 5 or 6 and then I have like 4 creatures already and those 4 creatures are 2/2 creatures, technically that will give you 8 damage plus additional plus 1. So that 8 damage become 12 damage in turn 4. And then if you have another Radiant and next turn he sleep you again, you can literally use again Radiant Abdon. A good thing about nature, I noticed like um I know like light has lots of warded creature, right? Those 3/2 with ward and 3/3 with ward. are very effective against a board wipe death. So yep, so that's the thing. Be aggressive at Light, Radiant Dawn, and Ward. So technically, guys, always remember this is like an RNG game. There are times also like board wipe that may have a bad draw. So technically, this deck is not literally a perfect deck. It's just like it's fun to play because he has lots of tech cards. He has sleep, he has board wipe. But FYI, because of that, you having a 9 casting cost, 7 casting cost. Sometimes if you draw that one, all of those 7 casting at the early game, and means like you have nothing to play on the first, second, and third and fourth pin, then you have like a chance to be defeated also. So it's a matter of luck also in playing a tradable card game because like I said, 30 cards, you have like randomly get early cards or you may have a good draw or bad draw. Okay? So that's it guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you have like comment suggestion, please leave me a message. And if you like, kindly please subscribe for more Gods Unchained content. Thank you and have a nice day, guys.